Leamington Comic Con this weekend, 14th of April. Hello everyone, welcome to This Week in Comics. We're in Comic Connections as we are every week, and we are looking at comics that will be released on the 11th of April, so the second week of comics for this month. Yeah, let's do it. Before we look at my top 5 picks for this week, let's just have a moment in honour of Captain America 700. He served us well. It's written by Mark Waid, it's really good fun, it's a legacy number, it's gone to 700. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. Captain America, 700 issues. All that's going to be pretty insignificant next week when we get Action Comics 1000 in, but let's talk about that next week. So the big new release from Marvel this week is Exiles issue 1. I'm quite a big fan of the Exiles book. I don't do that many X-Men titles anymore, just because there's so many of them, but back in the day, like 15 years ago, Exiles was kind of like Quantum Leap meets X-Men, written by Judd Winnick, really good fun. It's nice to see this book back on the shelves. You've even got that funny little Wolverine Batmite ripoff in the book. So it's a return of Blink and her various assortment of people from different realities, jumping from reality to reality, putting right what once went wrong, and hoping that each leap will be the leap home. She probably hasn't got a home. Age of Apocalypse, bad things happened. Cheap plug for Sonic the Hedgehog issue 2 from IDW. We still have issue 1 in stock. It's a weekly book for the first month and then it goes to monthly. We've backed this pretty heavily, which is good because seemingly no one else did. And last time we checked, we were the cheapest people on eBay. So that's cool. We still have issue 1 in stock, quite a few of them. If you like Sonic, you know if you're a Sonic guy or not. We're going to do well on these in the long run, I think, more so than just monthly customers. People are going to miss this book. We're going to do well on it in shows, but we've got plenty in store for you lucky regular customers. So pop in, pick up Sonic if that's your bag. I quite often take a look at the new age of DC Heroes books as they come out. This is issue 1 of Immortal Men. So you've got Jim Lee contributing to this book in terms of storytelling and breakdowns. I think what's going to be interesting for a lot of people is that's the Batman Who Laughs from the Metal series. So he's cropping up in this. I think this is going to go under a lot of people's radar. Not many people ordered it. Not loads of people seem to be carrying a buzz about it. But the new age of DC Hero stuff has done quite well for us. If you haven't got on board yet, I'd recommend you look at the Terrifics or Curse of Brimstone. We still have them in stock, as well as Damage and Sideways. And look, we actually carry just like most of them in stock all the time. Immortal Men almost sold out already. Let's see if it becomes a hot one. I think that one will. Carrying on from the camp symbiote fun that was issue 1, we're continuing Marvel's weekly Venomized series. This is to celebrate 30 years of Venom. Again, that's going to seem quite insignificant compared to the 80 years of Superman we'll be celebrating in a few moments' time. I'm quite a big fan of this one. I don't do loads of Venom, but I tend to do the crossovers because they get a bit crazy. But it's nice because it's Eddie Brock back in the costume, so it's a bit of classic Venom. Everyone from the Marvel Universe seems to be in this, so it's like one of those old school crossovers which just has everyone in it but doesn't really worry too much about 50 dozen tie-in issues and miniseries. Self-contained, 5 books weekly, you're done. Get out. Venomized. Obligatory indie book, because I'm trying to prove to all you guys that I don't just read Marvel and DC. That's actually all I read. Robocop. So this is written by Brian Wood. There hasn't been a great pedigree of Robocop comics through history, but 25 years ago we had Robocop versus Terminator, and I'm still not over that. I always check out the Robocop comics. We've got a few regular customers who do, and the fact that Brian Wood's on it bodes well because Brian Wood is a pretty competent writer. If you like anti-corporate capitalist Robocop, then I'm sure it's going to be more of the same from anti-capitalist Brian Wood. Fight the system, read Robocop. My graphic novel pick of the week this week is the easiest pick of the week I've had to pick in all the weeks I've been doing my picks of the week for This Week in Comics. It is Action Comics, 80 Years of Superman. This is a book that confused lots of people because it was originally called like Action Comics Celebration of 1,000 Issues, and it made a lot of people think Action Comics 1,000 was actually going to be in this as well. The price went up from $30 to $50 and had a poster. Everyone complained. They pulled the poster out. It's back down to $30. This is the most confusing book going, whereas it should be nice and simple. Superman's been around for 80 years, 1,000 comics of Action Comics. Let's just celebrate that by taking a look through the myriad history of Superman. So you've got some stuff in here from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through to modern day. And it looks very exciting, and it's a great way to whet your appetite in advance of next week's Action Comics 1000. Pretty cool. I'm well on board for issue 1000 of Action Comics, not just because Brian Michael Bendis is moving to DC, but just because I actually like Superman. And even though I've been reading Superman for 20 years, there's like 7 good stories. Go figure. But this is a celebration of all things Superman. If you're not on board for this, then you're not my friend. That's it for this week. Let me know in the comments section below if you prefer when I look at 5 books or 10 books. It's sometimes difficult to go into detail if we're doing 10 books. If we do 5, we can get a bit more into the nitty gritty. Let me know which you prefer. I'm still sort of super ambivalent as to which one we do. That's why I kind of did 6 this week. Go figure. I'm just going to take the time to point out we have these awesome comics in stock that are just £1. So we have Snot Girl issue 1 for £1, Black Science for £1, Black Magic for £1, Deadpool first appearance for £1, Venom first appearance of Agent Venom for £1, and Infinity Gauntlet issue 1 for £1. If you want some good cheap reprint comics that are good, clean, wholesome comic fun, check out Infinity Gauntlet. That's it for this week. I am not going to be here this weekend because I will be at Leamington Comic Con. Pop along and see us. Kids get in free. It's keeping Comic Con about comics. We have John Wagner signing there, Al Ewing, who's doing the current weekly Avengers books, a whole heap of indie guys. It's just comics. There's no one from Walking Dead or Lord of the Rings walking around the background. Yeah, hope to see you there. If not, come into store and we'll see you here. Thank you for watching. As always, I'll see you next week for more comics.